2017, The Final Preparation of the Kings and Priests, Chapter 20, The Kingdom, One Level at a Time. We have spoken many times about going into another level as you mature in God, and the need to deal with the demonic resistance that is associated with that level. We have said before that one of the first things you must do is to clean it out. When you hit a new level, how do you clean it out? Just exactly what are we saying? As you come to a new level in God, a new abiding level or vibration, you will find an entrenchment of demonic spirits. The enemy has inhabited that level and has usurped your freedom and the provision that God has for you on that level. Perhaps an easy way to visualize going from one level to another would be borrowing a scene from the movie Star Trek, when they're beaming up from one spaceship to another. In essence, that is how it works. Your vibration changes as you mature in God, and you come up to higher and higher levels. You actually enter into new planes of reality that you did not have access to before. Were those realities present around you? Yes, they were, but you were just not aware of them. Understand a higher level in God is just a new sphere of functioning in the realm of spirit for you. We've always talked about how fulfillment unfolds as you go from level to level. As you move into another level in God, there is more to it than just taking dominion over the squatters that have existed there. It is about accessing the provision that God has for you there, and this is how we have walked as sons. When we speak of cleaning out a new realm that you come up to, what we mean is that there's been a degree of the presence of the enemy on that vibrational level, and they have literally been squatting on your provision. As you come to that new level in God, you now have the access and ability to bring down the demonic entrenchments and to move into your inheritance. As you progress to each new level, you will be met with lies, illusion, and resistance. Understand that you're dealing with the spirit world. This is not something that is ethereal that you can't put your finger on. You're dealing with a host of spirits that have been existing on that plane that you've come to possess. And the first thing that you do is you clean it out. This is simply done by taking your rightful position in God and pushing through the resistance of the squatters who would try to bluff you out of possessing and functioning as you're meant to. In each level, you will be met with a resistance that will try to intimidate you and cause you to back off. As sons, we just push right through because it's all an illusion. It used to be in times past that it would take a long time to go from one level in God to another, because it's linked with the maturing of the sons. You could go back in the annals of history, the times of the Restoration, the 1500s, the 1600s, and you can see how long it took for people to break through into new levels and experiences in God. But this time that we're in is a time that the kingdom is hastening, and God's sons are moving through portals of change much more quickly. As we come closer to this time of fulfillment and the completion of sonship, it can seem difficult at times to get your sea legs, so to speak. Why is that? Because you're passing from one level to level much more quickly. And it would seem just the moment you've had a handle on one level, God propels you into the next. As soon as you come into a new level in God and you begin to move with the authority over that realm which has been resisting God in you, then it seems like you're shot into the transition of another level. The kingdom is being brought forth, one level at a time. You must understand that in a very mystical sense, you are the kingdom. I understand that we may not fully grasp the depth of this truth, or shall I say that we've not fully experienced the reality of it, but the fact remains that you are the kingdom. And as you go from level to level in God, you are bringing forth the kingdom with you. Be careful not to be drawn into distractions and battles which you've already won. The enemy would seek to pull you into conflict after conflict, dealing with this issue or that issue, when the truth is that you have authority and you have dominion. All you have to do is speak the word, and the lie and the illusion must give way. You can look right in front of you and see something that seems to be so real, yet it's just an illusion. One word breaks it, whether it's a wall or whether it's issues that you seem to be dealing with. It doesn't matter. It's all an illusion. The suns are in the process of ascending. As they go up higher and higher, their vibration or dwelling place in God changes. And as their vibration shifts, this literally unlocks the provision that God has for them on that level. What does this mean? In plain English, it means that you're a fluid being. Right now, your vibration, your frequency in God, is at one specific level. But as you ascend higher, you become more and more one with the light. And your frequency or vibration continues to go up higher. You need to understand that the realms of light are realms of vibration in the presence of God. You could say vibration, you could say frequency. It's pretty much the same thing. As you go higher in God, your personal frequency changes because you're becoming more and more the light. And your frequency will continue to change and change and change again. This is simple to understand, and this is what it means to go from level to level. We have taught in the past that God has provisions for his sons, realms of functioning, administrations that they're to move in, that are earmarked for certain levels in God that they attain. Their presence in that new level literally unlocks the provision that God has for them on that level. You become, as it were, the key that opens the doors to the mysteries and the treasures that have been reserved for you for the time that you come to that level. This is really all about the maturing of the sons. You could also say it's about the time set by the Father. People may think that the time set for the maturing and manifesting of the sons is a specific given date, but it's really related to your functioning and maturing in God. And as you attain new levels in God, your presence unlocks the provision and the bounty that God has reserved for you. There are so many levels in God, I couldn't imagine how many there are. However, we've been moving consistently higher and higher up into the realm of his presence. We are truly being caught up. This may be the first time in history that a people can actually explain and understand what this experience of being caught up is. You are living the book of Revelation right now, and you're being caught up. You're abiding, your vibration, everything about your presence is continuing to change. What we're talking about is something that is a constant and has been a constant for us as we have walked before the face of God. There are a number of scriptures that talk about the word, both the spoken word and the word of authority. In the last days, my word shall judge, and they overcame by the word, and they loved not their lives unto death. And the enemy is slain by the brightness of his rising in you. These are all scriptures that we've known, but now we're living them. The word has come for a number of years to us that the kingdom will move forward by the word that we speak. It's different than prayer. Prayer and supplication is one thing. You're entreating the Lord to release something. But speaking the word is acting upon what has already been put within you. For you are more than just a channel to speak the word. We have seen the level of conflict in the last several months accelerate. The spirit realm is like a finely woven matrix, and you can't move your foot 1 inch one way or 1 inch the other way, without which you are affecting the spirit world and meeting resistance. It can be disconcerting because you're trying to rightly discern what is unfolding. The word has come time and time again. You will prevail by the word, and you will be sustained by the word that you eat. It is important that we understand that possessing the kingdom one level at a time, has both to do with the level of the word that you're speaking, but it also has very much to do with the word that you're eating and digesting. One thing that we're coming to understand more and more is that the word cannot be hindered. It cannot be withstood. The way that we're going to continue to prevail is that we speak the word into every situation, even if we don't have an accurate discernment of what seems to be going on. The spirit realm would love to keep the sons off balance just enough that they're always trying to figure out what's going on, or they're consumed with trying to come up with answers. The only way that the sons prevail in this battle of the ages is that they just speak the word. And go back into the New Testament, there are so many promises about the freedom and the liberty of the sons of God and the anointing that the sons are to move in. Often the Lord has revealed to you very specific promises that you're destined to walk in. And as you begin to stand upon those promises and upon those revelations and speak that word, the truth coming out of your mouth begins to break the illusion and the lie. You must realize that so much of our warfare, if not all of it, really comes down to dealing with illusion. The enemy is real, and so you can say that we're fighting against principalities and powers, thrones and dominions. We must understand that the tools and tactics of the enemy are deception and illusion. You either cave into the lie and the illusion and start trying to find solutions, or you speak a word that cuts right through it like a sharp knife. And that is where we stand. We stand speaking the word of God, which cannot be withstood. In the book of Isaiah, it speaks that his word is sent out and does not return void. We look at that as the Father and the Son speaking the word, not returning void, but we need to internalize this for a minute. You are the extension of the Father. You are the extension of the Lord. You speak the word by the Spirit, and that word does not return void. When the Father speaks, look in the mirror. Your mouth is moving, and that word will not return void, and we speak the word into the spirit realm, and we break the impasses. God tears down that which seems to be a wall of iron around the sons, where they can't seem to break through. The word shatters it and lays it bare. The breakthroughs, the promises, and the provisions are loosed to the sons, because that is the word, and it's by the word that we prevail. There is no other way that you're going to prevail. You won't have enough wisdom or insight to figure everything out. We're not like those that walk in the earth. To them there is no resistance. Fruition and fruitfulness seem to just happen without any difficulty. But it doesn't work that way for the sons. The wisdom of the world will not make a difference. But it's the word that you speak, the word of authority, the word of dominion, and the word of power. For God has ruined you for any other life and any other way of functioning. Transference may come in like a flood, but you will stand and send it all back. This is how we move forward. Someone may say, well, the kingdom moves forward on your knees. Well, yes, it does. But the kingdom doesn't really move forward with prayer and supplication, not when God has already created the sons. The kingdom moves forward when the sons move with the initiative of faith to speak a word that breaks the barriers, that breaks the lie, that breaks the illusion, and that breaks the wall. And this you do almost on a day-by-day basis, for you are quickly ascending into the presence of the Father. You are the voice of God in the earth, and you're prevailing by the word you're speaking. And if you don't speak the word, then it may be a little rough going. Maybe this is a paradigm shift for some of you, where your natural course is to go in and begin to either pray or sit down and scratch your head and try to figure it out. You can't figure it out, and you can't go before God and say, help me, when He's already said, I've given it to you. Just walk in the Word. Maybe you don't see the whole picture yet, but that's okay. You've got enough to work with. Just speak the Word and understand that as you go from level to level, that it is the most exciting experience a son can have, because each level in God is like a whole new place of abiding. It's like traveling from one country to another. All of a sudden you've arrived and there you are. On a day-by-day basis, it may seem hard to relate to that. You look at yourself in your human form and the battles that you go through. You may not realize that you're changing and that everything seems to be a little bit off kilter, but it's only because you're growing into new levels much more quickly. In the past, you may have gone from one level to another, and it may have taken months or years. Now we're talking days and weeks. So it can seem a little off balance, but that's okay, because you're moving into a new land and God has set before you a provision, a bounty for you, just waiting. The only condition is that once you get to that new level, then just take dominion over the lies and the illusions and know there is a provision, a treasure chest of His mysteries reserved for you that are attached to that level. And the roar of the enemy will not bluff you out. The provisions for you on that level will open up, and with that will come an experience in God that will continue to deepen, and your understanding will open up. The promise has been that the Lord wants to reveal the hidden mysteries to His sons, the deep mysteries of the kingdom, and the mysteries of the satanic world as well. From level to level are subsequent provisions that will see a releasing of the wisdom, of the insight, of the mysteries. That is what's so exciting. Expect that, because this is what is happening. In a very mystical sense, the mysteries that God will reveal will not be external. Rather, He will be revealing the mysteries within you. Right now, you don't see yourself as complete in Him, yet that is the promise. Right now, you see yourself in a form of limitation, perhaps. But the truth is that all the knowledge, the wisdom, all the mysteries in God are already resident within you. And as you go from level to level, their release in you will open up as your spiritual vibration and level of abiding changes. So what is God going to reveal to you will not be external mysteries. They will be very much internal. You will see them. You will know them. You will understand them because they're already a part of you. This is very mystical, and it's not something that is easy to explain or define. The kingdom is coming forth, one level at a time, one step at a time, one victory at a time. And you're right in the midst of a great possessing of the kingdom. Be looking for so much to open up. Be anticipating the mysteries, the deep things of God, because they are your provision, and they're opening up even as we speak.